Hello everyone and welcome to Brommer Art Center on the campus of Concordia University, Nebraska. My name is Don Robson and I serve as a professor of art and the chairman for the Department of Art. I want to welcome you to this tour. We're going to start on the main level of Brommer, and something that, one of the things I think is really unique to us, unlike a lot of other colleges, is that in this building it's all visual arts. A lot of schools, typically larger universities, will have music, theater, and art together, which isn't a bad thing, but it's kind of nice to have all the visual arts here as we use this facility as a working facility. And something else I think is really important is that we really think about Brommer as an environment and as a community. And the reason we do that is our students are in this building a lot along with us, and so we get to know our students very well. And they work together, they get to know each other very well, and we get to understand each other's aesthetic. And so we really take a lot of pride in maintaining this building and having a certain attitude about it. So it's really great. We're in a room here that's really a multi-purpose room right now. We teach printmaking and 2D design, collage and mixed media, and also offer a gen ed fine art class called Fundamentals of Art. And so we see about 125 non-art majors a week in this room. Concordia requires that all students take 6 hours of fine arts within general education, and so it's a very popular class, and it's great to see students in here who are not art majors. We get to know them as well. Now we're going to move into the printmaking studio, and as we move through this tour you might notice that some of the spaces are somewhat small, but that really is not a problem for us because our class sizes are small. Usually I think we average about 12 per student, so the spaces do not become overly crowded, and we still have everything that we would need and want to create the type of art that our students want to, and to teach them the things that we want them to know. As we move out here back into the space that we started in, we're going to move through, and something I think is very important but not often talked about with art is having a lot of good storage space. Students really don't want to carry all of their art supplies around, and so we have lockers for them. We also have cubby or storage spaces, so for instance if they're in drawing or painting they can keep those materials here, and it really makes for a lot of convenience. So now we're moving into our painting and drawing studio, and this is a great space with a lot of really wonderful natural light. So we teach 4 different drawing classes, painting, water-based media in here, and we work from observation. So it's a really great space. And I want to point out this mural here that was restored. Something that we do here at Concordia and within our community at Seward is we team up with Jones Bank, and we have a Jones Fine Arts series. And so every 3 years we get to bring in a visiting artist. And Stefan Bucher, who is an illustrator, worked with our students to create this mural up here. And so we were able to restore it and have it in our facility. So I think it's a really interesting piece and something that's exciting for students to see. Now as we move back toward the front of the building, we have our main lecture hall here. It's a pretty typical classroom, desks and chairs. So a lot of, I guess really all of our art history courses are taught in this space, as well as sometimes special topics courses. And our students will look at a lot of slide work here, so it's really set up for that. So it's a good space. And across the hall we have our photo shoot room and video production room as well. And so this is a great space where students can document their work. They can do video work in here, camera work, and really our students probably immediately in their freshman year they start to develop their professional portfolio. So this is a place where a lot of that happens, documenting work as they grow in their craft. We're going to head upstairs now, and the upper level is where our graphic design courses are taught. The space is split by 2 major rooms. On our north side of the building is where more of our traditional work is taught. So illustration. We also work with video production and photography up here as well. This space I like to think of it as a space that might seem like a small graphic design business. Great workspace here, great flat table space, lots of storage again. Students are given flat files as well. Something very important and inherent to graphic design work is to keep it very clean and pristine, and so the flat files allow for that. Another feature in this room is our large format printing. We're really blessed here at Concordia in many ways, but we have a family who has been wonderful to us in helping us to acquire machinery that we need, tools, software, and the like. And so this room is our large format printing room, and we have print techs, student workers who work in here, and any class that requires printed work, our students are able to submit that electronically, and then our print techs take it from a server and they print it for them. So it's a really nice feature, very convenient, and our students get to learn about that as well. Now we're going to move to the South Studio, which is our computer lab. And within the art department, we are Mac-based. And so in our main lab, we have 25 machines. And this lab is, again, for art majors, but also for anyone that's taking an art class that requires the use of a computer. So 25 machines in here, 2 different projectors. And in addition to this space, we have what we call our Lilich Design Studio. And this is the family I alluded to earlier that has been such a great blessing for us to provide us with Wacom Cintiq machines and additional computers. And so a lot of our upperclassmen work in this space. And then there are some classes we offer that require students to work in here as well. So it's a really great facility. Something else I think is important to know and interesting is that the lighting in this space replicates noonday light, so there's no casting. We're very serious about color correction here. And we have great printers, but if students see their work on a computer screen and the color is correct, then when they print that, they're going to get what they saw on their computer. So it's a really great feature, and again, something that people don't often think about, but they certainly know it when it comes out and it doesn't look like it was supposed to. So it's really great. Now we're going to head down to our lower level, which is where all of our three-dimensional work takes place. All right, we're now in the lower level of Brahmer, and something that I hadn't mentioned as we were in the main level and the upper level is that once a week we rotate student artwork, and so we feature that on a main wall of each level. And it's really important for us to get our students' work out there and to see, for the community to see that as well. Something I want to start with here actually is we offer student studio space, which is really rare at the undergraduate level. This is something that you usually don't see until you get into graduate school. But we have 11 spaces, and they're split between 2 rooms, one on the north, which we're in now, which holds 6 spaces. They're not really large spaces, but they're absolutely adequate, and our students really appreciate the opportunity to have these spaces. And so, as I mentioned before, Brommer is very much an environment and a community, and so this becomes kind of a community within a community. And a lot of these students will be working toward a BFA, Bachelor of Fine Arts thesis show. And so they may be showing with each other in that exhibition, and so they get to see what's happening, talk about their work, and I'm inclined to think that it makes for a stronger show. So anyway, 6 spaces here. We'll move down to the South Studio, but before we get there, we'll take a look at our wood shop. Again, not a really large space, but we have any and every type of tool and machine that you would need. We really try to keep this very clean and orderly for safety issues. Safety is very important to us here. And so our students at the freshman level, they come in their fall semester and take a class called Tools and Safe Process. And they learn how to use these machines with confidence and with safety. And then that helps them as they continue to move through their experience here at Concordia. So we move back down the hall. We have the all-important soda machine. And we have a refrigerator, microwave, and a couple of coffee makers. So when students really want to dedicate their time into their studio, they can bring food, make coffee, those sorts of things. So it's kind of a nice convenience, and it really keeps them in their studio and working hard at what they love to do. We're going to head down toward the South Studios, but before we get there, this space here is really, we consider it a critique room at the lower level, but also students can create installations here as well. So it's a good space for that. And then the South Studios here, a little bit smaller space, but the space or the individual studio spaces are the same size, but we have 5 spaces here. And so again, a really great privilege for the students that we have here, and they greatly appreciate it. We're going to work now more toward the east part of the lower level, where we will open up into a much larger kind of studio space. But before we get there, we'll look into our kiln room. We have 3 electric kilns inside of Brommer, and we have 2 gas kilns outside, which I'll show you shortly. We buy all of our clay in powder form, and so students learn to mix the clay here. Also glazes, so this is our glaze mixing and clay mixing room, and so students will learn to do that. And I really think by creating our own glazes, we get much greater glazes with more intense and wonderful color. So it's a good thing for them to learn as well. Across the hall here is a room that's dedicated for plaster mold making. We can do other things in this space, but it's primarily for that. Now, as we move into the more open space, you'll notice that this room here is a little empty, and the reason for that is we just have this floor resurfaced. And so typically this space here, we have about 14 ceramic wheels in this space. So as we move forward, you're going to see a lot of stuff together, which is usually not like this, but I think it's good to see because it shows that we have some updates happening, and we really take a lot of pride in our space. So nothing too glamorous here, but you may see flat table space, and students can work on anything three-dimensional. There's sculpture work with plaster or clay or wood or metal or whatever it may be. And another feature of our building is our patio space here. And this is the last space I'm going to show you. But our students are able to come out here and weld. We do all of our welding outside. As I mentioned before, we have 2 gas kilns here. And then just a space where students can really work on anything they want out in this area. And it's a covered space. So if it's raining or even snowing and not too cold, then students are out here working. So it's a really nice extension of our space. All right, we're going to head back upstairs, and that's going to end our tour of Brommer Art Center. So I just want to say thank you for taking this tour with me today. I want to encourage you to contact us if you have interest in Concordia, and I know that we will be quite happy and excited to help you in any way that we can. So I hope to see you on our campus, and I would look forward to working with you. So thank you very much. Have a great day.